Good afternoon and welcome to Trade Talks. I'm your host, Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq. Joining me live at HQ this morning is Drew Schiff and Steve Elms. They're both managing partners over at Aislings Capital. I'd like to thank you very much for joining us both live at HQ. Tell us a little bit about Aislings Capital.
So Aislings Capital, we've been around since 2000, and we're a life science-focused private equity fund investing in both public and private companies. Really, they'll focus on the clinical stage of development. So we're not really doing early stage investing, instead waiting till products are in human clinical development before we really step in and invest in those companies. We also really involved in those companies, oftentimes on the board of them, and are very involved in their financing strategy as well as their product development strategy.
Is there an advantage to later stage versus early stage?
Well, I think the combination of our team, which combines sort of clinical backgrounds, I'm a physician by training, financial background, Steve's a banker by background, allows us to come in and partner with companies as they're moving through development, kind of on that path towards a drug approval. Because from our perspective, there's nothing more satisfying than ultimately seeing a drug achieve approval, be marketed, and change the way patients are treated.
Can you give us an example of a company that you might have invested in?
So I was a director of Zeltiq Therapeutics. An area of interest to us is dermatology. We sort of think about the dermatology theme as a non-invasive treatment. A lot of people before dermatology had grown so much participated in a lot of invasive surgical therapy, not only here around the globe. People prefer non-invasive treatments. Dermatology, aesthetic dermatology is extremely interesting, and Zeltiq has an approved therapy called cool sculpting, which has fat freezing. And so in this non-invasive way, people are able to have body contouring. They're able to have that over the course of an hour. They can leave the office, no side effects, and experience all the benefits of cool sculpting.
Right, and I'd say another area that we're very involved in is oncology. It's a huge part of the market in life sciences. One company that we're involved with is a company called Loxo Oncology, publicly traded now. This is a company that was actually started at Aislings by our partner, Josh Belinker, who's now CEO of the company. He's doing a terrific job. I'm chairman of the board, and Josh and I work really closely on that. That's really focused on targeted therapy for cancer, where when a cancer has a certain mutation that's druggable, Loxo has developed a drug that actually targets a mutation called TRAC mutation that's now in a broad array of cancers. So it's no longer just focusing on the tissue-specific type of cancer. We're also involved in looking at investments in things like immuno-oncology as well, that it's trying to really enable the immune system to see cancer for what it is, a dangerous cell, rather than seeing it as self, and then it continues to proliferate.
Outside of oncology and dermatology, are there other opportunities in the healthcare and pharma space?
Absolutely. I mean, we really don't have a set kind of framework on which we will invest in terms of therapeutic areas. We really invest in all of them: GI disease, gastrointestinal disorders, dermatology, as Drew mentioned, cardiovascular is another big area that we invest in as well.
And I think the context of that, Jill, and why people are so interested in life sciences is you've seen an industry, the life sciences industry, which started out funding effectively science projects, mature over the last 15 years to become an industry where virtually all of the companies in our industry are involved in one way or another in developing a drug and are committed to taking that new drug through clinical studies. And that's important because in the overall context of medicine, most people believe that the way that you're able to keep patients out of the hospital is by giving them medication in the outpatient setting. And the life science industry has become an ever greater contributor to new medications. So in terms of opportunities, the management teams, their expertise have all matured and improved over the last 15 years that we've been involved doing this. And so we see lots of very experienced teams coming with clinical studies, late stage clinical studies, raising capital to create new medications that solve important medical problems.
Well, there was a big announcement made this morning with Aisling. Are you able to tell us about that?
Sure. Yeah, we're very excited. We just announced the close of our fourth fund, roughly $280 million to invest along this same strategy now that we've really been successfully investing in for the past 17 years, since 2000 when the fund started, really focusing again on those clinical stage opportunities and also given a wide mandate in terms of financial structure. The team has worked together now for many years. Drew and I have been at the fund together since the beginning, and the team's been together and really focused on that strategy.
All right. Well, congratulations to the both of you.
Thank you very much for having
All
us.
right, and thank you. And
Thanks,
traders,
Jill.
You're welcome. And as always, I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq.